this is Kyle Harvey. Welcome to episode 2 of Realtors Talk Shop. Today I'm with Rossley, one of my colleagues at Baird & Warner's Gold Coast office and one of my colleagues in a masterminds group. Today we're talking about what home improvement projects deliver the best ROI for sellers who are thinking, I want to enjoy something now, but I'm going to sell in the short run, meaning like a year out, maybe 2 years out. They've got a kid who's a junior in high school and they're thinking, I'm going to downsize soon. If I'm going to invest my dollars, what's really going to help me sell my house down the road?
Let's talk first about condos.
Okay.
I would say with condos, one of the best things that somebody can do is put some hardwood floors down. Take out the old dirty carpet, put some hardwood floors down, and now we've recently had some changes in what hardwood floors are popular, would you say?
Absolutely.
I mean, when I first got in the business, it was 2-inch plank, honey-colored oak.
Yeah.
We've gone beyond that now. So what would you tell them to do in terms of oak, or hardwood rather?
Well, I've actually had this conversation recently with one of my clients who's got an investment property and we're not able to rent it. And I recommended, because I was going for lower cost, parquet, but big parquet squares versus the little, 6x6, 5x5 ones.
Right.
Those look sort of 1970s, 1960s, but the bigger ones are starting to come back, and I've seen them in Decorator magazines. One, they are easy to install. 2, they're not terribly expensive. And 3, God forbid you've got a flood, pop those out, lay new ones down, and it's not such a disaster that the long planks need to be replaced. So that's one thing. There's also, as you're about to talk about, these great engineering.
You knew I was going to say that.
I like to talk about it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, tell me about
Engineered floors are terrific today. They have come so far. And then the other thing is, I've even seen in basements and some other places where laminate floors have done very well, depending on the location. I wouldn't recommend it for the luxury condo, of course, but there are so many terrific choices available today that I would say really investigate the opportunities that are available.
So tell other folks here who might not know what engineered floors mean. So tell us what that is. It's a composite?
Right, and it's not fully hardwood. You can't sand them down multiple times. You can once or twice. But the beauty of those is they are engineered such that the price is less, and number 2, they're easy to get in and get out, and finally, they're more stable.
Yeah, and they are pop in. You and I couldn't install them, but lots of people could.
A handyman can instead of getting a hardwood
Exactly.
specialist.
No, I think absolutely, and even hardwood floors in the bedrooms. A lot of people say, "Oh, I really like carpeting in a bedroom." People want to have rugs rather than carpeting now. It's my sense of it. What about you? What's your sense?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And people can always put an area rug down, but the hardwood floor keeps everything smooth. People feel like it's clean. It just gives you a good sense. I think it's an investment that will pay dividends.
So what do you think is, if we were moving around a condo or an apartment, what's the next thing you would spend your money on?
Well, I think bathroom upgrades can be a great investment, and I wouldn't recommend doing necessarily the on trend. I think a classic, clean renovation would be terrific. I had a listing in Lakeview, and it was a luxury single family home, and they did their bathrooms in white tile, which at the time was not the in thing, and they also used a variation of the white tile. So some white subway, some 4x4, and if you can imagine, that sounds like boring, but they did it on an angle, they did it, and it was beautiful and timeless.
See, that's the key, you go into some of these places and you see stuff of the moment, and when that moment passes,
You're done.
But classic lasts forever, and so white, maybe some light gray. There is all this again, explosion in technology, there are all these porcelain tiles, which are not terribly expensive. They come in sort of luxurious looks, like there's some beautiful faux marble that's done in porcelain tile. I don't recommend that you do that all over the bathroom, but
Right.
if you want to create a feeling of a marble surround in a shower, for example, you can use these porcelain tiles, these big porcelain slabs, and it's quite inexpensive. I mean, inexpensive. It's subway tile is less, but it's a great look.
Right. And when you just say clean lines,
So much clean lines.
don't overdo, keep it simple, keep it clean. You can always embellish with your tchotchkes,
Absolutely.
because those are easily changed in and out.
And pull in and out.
What else would you recommend?
So let's just one more moment on bathrooms.
Okay.
Consider taking out the tub. So I live in a condo building, and both of my full-size baths have tubs, and I decided to take one of those tubs out and make it a walk-in shower. I'm seeing that more and more often, that one of the two bathrooms of a condo building will have a walk-in shower. People really like it.
Oh, buyers are very happy to have a good-sized shower.
I don't think a ton of people are tubbing it
No.
these days.
Right.
And
Nor
so,
are they jet tubbing it.
okay, never again a jet tub.
That's out.
That's
Don't do
out.
it.
And it takes up way too much room. So, and to have these huge bathrooms that have enormous jet tubs, it's like, what? No,
Right.
don't do that.
Soaking
and if you
tub,
have,
fine, but
exactly, soaking tub, lovely, if you've got the space.
right.
And if you are redoing your bathroom or looking at your bathroom and saying, oh, I have a jet tub, consider taking it out.
Yeah, I think
Putting
that's very wise
putting a
advice.
soaking tub in. Okay,
Mhm.
what else? In a condo.
In a condo, well, certainly one of the first things buyers always think about is, where am I going to store all my things? So closet organization would be superb. You can enjoy it now, and they can enjoy it when you sell.
Yes, when I take buyers around, every time they see an organized closet, they're like, this is great. I have dedicated shoe storage, or there are drawers in this closet, or different hanging heights. They can immediately envision their stuff in that closet.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be California closets, all this stuff, because that actually sort of takes up too much room in the closet.
Actually, the things that you can move around and adjust to fit your own,
Yes.
like an Alpha or some of these other closet systems, make great sense.
Excellent. Now we're going to shift to single-family homes, and
Okay.
and some of this applies across. Some of what we've talked about for condos also applies to single-family homes. But is there anything special that you think people with single-family homes should think about as an investment in advance of sale that they can enjoy now, but that will help them with sale?
I think it depends upon the age of your home. If you have a home that's been done in the last 10, 15 years, this may not apply to you, but if you have a home that is 30, 40, 50 years old, one of the things that I would recommend is look at the windows.
Ooh,
Because
yes.
if the windows are older and you're starting to have issues, the buyers are gonna go, that project is too big, I can't even consider how I would move forward.
And window technology has improved dramatically in the last 20 years, 30 years. So even if you think, well, I don't have a draft for my window, think about upgrading them, only because A, you will save a little bit of money or some money on your heating and cooling.
Right.
But B, you get to say, all new windows, you never have to think about windows again. That's very helpful.
Now you like the idea of updating mechanicals.
I do, and because there's nothing that says to a potential buyer, you don't have to do the hard stuff that having a new water heater, a new furnace, a new air conditioning condenser, than having it done in the last year or two. Because otherwise it's going to show up, well, they've got a 10, 15-year-old furnace in the inspection report, and then the buyer says to you, I want $2,000 to address the fact that I'm going to have to replace this water heater or this furnace or whatever. Again, technology has improved things. Think of the water
Absolutely.
heaters. I mean,
Yeah.
my God, they're now tiny, or they can be tiny. I think it's worth, if you're looking at money, what is going to get me real bang for my buck, I think it's the mechanicals.
And roofs too, right?
Ah, yes, roofs.
Okay, so I think we're getting back to the whole concept of enjoy living in the home, but at the same time, make sure that the buyers don't have this overwhelming fear of what could happen, what's my risk. Talk about the roof a minute.
And that's a favorite for buyers of homes to get really hung up about at the inspection time. Well, is there mold up in the attic? Or you haven't had a roof, oh my gosh, there's mold, or there are undisclosed leaks, or have you ever had a leak? And the answer is, if the roof's 2 years old, people go, oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't even occur to them.
Yeah, they all the time. That's right, it's a 2-year-old roof. And this is really for people for whom the roof has about 5
or less years, yeah,
of life, because
right.
I mean roofs, I think is like about a 20-year life for a roof is considered standard without knowing more. You know, a flat roof may be slightly less, a pitched roof might be slightly more, but the idea that it's done
right
is meaningful, and often they are less expensive than a buyer will say in response to a inspection report. They're going to need a new roof. Well, I need $20,000 for a
right.
roof, and it's like whatever the price is.
But
it's
certainly
much
less than what they fear.
Exactly.
Absolutely right. And then finally, garage, driveway.
Exterior. Yeah.
When people see cracked concrete, when they see like big gaps, that's another fear factor. So getting that taken care of would be a good idea, don't you think?
I totally think so. People think that no one's looking at the garage, but to have a smart, snappy, cleaned, decluttered too, new garage door,
right?
One that works, you know, on command.
Doesn't grind loudly.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I push the button, it goes up.
Right.
Not push the button and then you wait and then you push it harder and then you turn around 2 times and then push it again.
Exactly.
It goes up. Those kinds of things, I believe, really say to a buyer, oh, this place is really well taken care of. I can see living here.
Now, you're not saying take care of those things and leave the avocado kitchen.
No.
But presuming everything else is in order,
right.
Those are the things that will make a buyer feel more comfortable and like they can tackle cosmetic.
Yes. And so in circling back, she brought up the kitchen. That's something, no matter where you are, in a condo or a single family home, that you really look at your kitchen and decide, can we freshen it? Are there things we can do to freshen it?
Exactly right. It changes every 5 to 7 years. There were some years like 2008 to 11, everybody was putting in the dark cabinets. Now everybody's looking for white, but you don't have to take everything out.
No.
If you hire the right professional, you can spray them to a white or a light gray and give it a whole new look.
Yeah, and remember, working with a professional and engaging a broker who's sold a lot of homes, looking at the few things that might give you real bang for your buck. That's what I would do for a kitchen too.
Today everybody wants quartz or quartzite. Getting rid of the old granite that was put in 2004 would be a good recommendation, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, I've got some of that myself.
Oh, on and on and on and on. The National Home Builders have a remodeling study that we can provide you if you're really not sure. But that's the big stuff, the big overview. I think the most important thing to think is, what can you invest in your home today to enjoy, to at the same time be a good return when you do eventually go to sell.
Anne, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll invite her back.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching.